This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Lokmade and this is Africa Now. There is a growing number of smokers and increased tobacco use among young teenagers in Africa. A new report on tobacco use from a public health campaign group and U.S. academics said. This is amid the global decline of smoking rates for the first time on record, figures from the Tobacco Atlas report showed. The increasing numbers of smokers in Africa, the Eastern Mediterranean and the Western Pacific regions is due to their population growth, the report said. Increased taxes amongst other tobacco control measures are the reason for falling prevalence globally, a report author said. Worsening outdoor air pollution and toxic lead poisoning have kept global deaths from environmental contamination at an estimated 9 million per year since 2015, countering modest progress made in tackling pollution elsewhere, a team of scientists reported on Tuesday. Deaths from traditional pollutants are declining globally, but they remain a major problem in Africa and some other developing countries. Tainted water and soil and dirty indoor air puts Chad, the Central African Republic and Niger as the three countries with the most pollution-related deaths, according to data adjusted for population. The first case of poliovirus was detected in Mozambique on Wednesday, almost 3 decades after the World Health Organization said. The virus was detected in a child living in the northeastern Tete region after the child began experiencing the onset of paralysis towards the end of March, the WHO said. Polio is a disabling and life-threatening disease caused by the poliovirus that spreads from person to person and can infect a person's spinal cord, causing paralysis. Still on health issues, the authorities in Sudan have ordered the morgue in the capital Khartoum to shut down because bodies there are starting to decompose in the heat over frequent power cuts. The facility is said to hold nearly 1,000 unidentified corpses. Activists have expressed concern that its closure may cover up the truth of how many were killed during protests against Sudan military rulers. Now away from health matters. There is an uproar in Zambia after Swedish and Finnish embassies in the country on Tuesday raised the rainbow flag along with their own national flags on their premises. Former Zambian diplomat Emmanuel Mwamba has demanded answers from the country's foreign ministry, saying that the embassies are without due regard to the law and cultural sensitivity of Zambians and Zambia on the matter. Same-sex sexual activity in the East African country is prohibited under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum penalty of 14 years imprisonment. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. More stories coming your way after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. On judicial matters, Ghislaine Galibali, a Congolese member of parliament, has been sentenced in absentia to 30 years with hard labor and a heavy fine, the High Court of Justice said on Wednesday. Galibali was found guilty of the acts attributed to him, including the offense of forgery and use of forgery and swindling for wages, said Henry Boka, president of the High Court of Justice. The 51-year-old is accused of having provided a false diploma of development engineer, which allowed him to be recruited as an agent of the Road Fund, a public agency for the maintenance of roads across Congo. Burundi's security agencies have committed violations against people suspected of belonging to opposition parties or of working with armed opposition groups, Human Rights Watch decries. Instead of targeting perceived opponents, President Evariste's administration should focus on bringing those responsible for abuse to justice, including members of the security forces, said Clementine, an Africa researcher at the Rights Group. Still on judicial matters, Ugandan police have released on board a Rwandan soldier and refugee they arrested from his home in Mesafunu on the outskirts of the capital, Kampala. Sergeant Major Robert Kabera fled to Uganda in November 2020, alleging political prosecution from Kigali, But the Ugandan police raided his home on Monday and searched it on suspicion that he was unlawfully in possession of a firearm. The Rwandan government, however, accuses him of allegedly defiling a family member in 2020, a charge which he denies. And on sports, 3 construction firms in South Africa accused of inflating the cost of building a stadium in Cape Town for the 2010 Football World Cup have agreed to pay the city's authority nearly $6 million. In an out-of-court settlement, WBHO, Stefanutis Stocks and Aveng Africa will pay the city of Cape Town $1.9 million each year over the next 3 years. The companies were accused of colluding to raise prices during the construction of Greenpoint Stadium, which began in 2007. A Kenyan court ordered a German athlete to pay a 70,000 Kenyan shillings fine or spend 6 months in prison for cyber harassment in Eton. West Marvin Valentin, who is 25 years old, was charged with 4 counts of sending disturbing messages to the athlete who he wanted to be romantically involved with, but his advances were turned down. The court ruled that he should leave the country within 72 hours of paying the fine or completing the prison term, failure to which he will be deported. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Lukmade. Many thanks for watching.